This is ProWrestling.me video podcaster LK here with another edition of your weekly WWE Monday Night Raw review. I'll be going solo due to Dave Kokota's family issues at the minute. I don't know, I'm not going to say too much about it in case he doesn't want me to let anyone know, but he is sad. He does send his regards and upset that he can't be on the Raw review, but family comes first. You know, I was acceptable of that. I'm going to do a solo show. I apologise if you were listening to the live stream after Monday Night Raw went off the air. For some reason I had a power cut. I have no fucking clue. I'm just going to double check right now outside the window that my mum's not in there turning the damn thing off. And I was there like flabbergasting, hyperventilating over here, what the fuck went on. And then all of a sudden it just clicked, the internet came back on. And I'm there like, you son of a bitch. I think it was someone telling me deep down, stop doing this show. But anyway, I digress. I apologise about that. I really do. So this is Monday Night Raw review for March the 14th, 2016. I'm going to try to get this done in 10 to 15 minutes. So also, we were live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Also, on this show, I'm going to do the name or shame game. It's where some people's tweets, they either make me laugh, they make me cringe, so I'm going to read them. And it's fucking hysterical. I think you guys will like it and enjoy the journey. By the way, I do that because I'm bored during advertisement, not because I have a passion of it. That's what I do. To kick off Monday Night Raw, we had a WWE Tag Team Championship match at the New Day, the champions defending against ADR and Rusev. Ladies and gentlemen, we're starting an episode of Monday Night Raw with a wrestling match. A wrestling match on a wrestling show. Oh, kickity. Oh, I had butterflies. Legit butterflies in my stomach. I cannot remember the last time I was that excited. A wrestling match on a wrestling show to kick off the show. We had you know what? I've met some pretty genius people in my life, but Vince McMahon, I take my cap off to you, sir. Such a fucking genius. Who in their right mind, I dare you to find anyone out there who would have the brain capacity to start a wrestling show with a wrestling match. Honestly, fucking genius. No wonder why WWE is where they are today with the high ratings and the high network subscription. Unbelievable. Really good stuff. However, this is heel versus heel, and I have no fucking clue who the babyfaces is, apart from the fact that Xavier Woods is the babyface at peril. That's what I'm going off. But New Day heel because Woods was the face in peril. So good job WWE there. But, you know, the crowd are behind New Day, and I think they are slowly turning New Day face. Again, it was Xavier Woods instead of Kofi wrestling on here. Crowd chanting, "We want Lana" earlier on. I don't. Judging by the segment she was in, I don't think anyone else does either. Like I said earlier, Woods is the face in peril. That's good psychology. It makes sense the smaller man to be the face in peril, so that when the big man gets the hot tag, it's more explosive and he can clear house. Big E does get the hot tag. Rusev and Big E have a very nice exchange. I'm a big fan of Rusev. I'm a big fan of Big E. I love both men. They're probably two of the best big men in the business, and Big E's one of the most underrated in my opinion. I think that guy could go places if he just gets the right gimmick, and I think, you know, he's one of those guys that is proving he can do a serious gimmick. He's proven he could be a good babyface down in NXT, and he's proven he could do a comedy act. There's nothing this guy can't do, and I am a big, huge advocate and a huge fan of Big E. Xavier Woods hits a nice slingshot DDT. ADR hits a beautiful double stomp onto Big E, face first into the apron. It looked really nasty, it looked really good stuff. Rusev then hits a super kick for two for a good near fall. Thought we had new tag champs there. Xavier Woods then rolls him up, pulls the tights to get the win. Michael Cole did a good job by claiming that, look, he pulled the tights, even though that doesn't make sense, because when the commentators point out, look, he pulled the tights, it's because the commentators are trying to tell the story that, look, they're bad guys, look, they're heels, so they're trying to get heel heat on the talent. But the thing is, you're trying to portray the New Day as baby faces, so it didn't make sense. But, you know, good job, Michael Cole. You're still trying to go for it. Swig a drink for the working man. Then we have the longest beatdown in the history of pro wrestling, as the League of Nations beat down the New Day. So to start off, they all four beat down the three. Then they individually beat down Kofi Kingston. They individually beat down Big E. They individually beat down Xavier Woods. And then stood there going, lads, lads, lads. Literally, it was just like that for like 16 hours. First name and shame game. This is more of a name. A Twitter account for this is at WWE Creative-ish. They put League of Waiting out of their contracts. I will say that again. At WWE Creative-ish. And I quote, Michael Cole, we just talked about him. League of Waiting out of their contracts. That made me laugh. That made me mark out. That's really fucking funny. That really did make me chuckle. League of Waiting out their contracts. Then we had Dean Ambrose come out. He obviously gets a big pop. Probably one of the biggest pops of the night. And what makes me laugh is, you know, he gets this big pop. He does. He gets this really great, magnificent pop. Then you get Roman Reigns, the main event, the main event of WrestleMania, the guy everyone's meant to be behind. You know, the number one guy in the company. I had my fingers up there as a joking gesture, and he's getting booed out the building. And you know, on contrast, if you take Roman Reigns, put him with Brock, Dean with Triple H, I think you're going to get much better outcome. Because, you know, Lesnar's going to be over as fuck. Reigns is going to get booed. But then you could portray that as Reigns being the heel and Lesnar being the babyface. And then in the main event, Dean Ambrose is going to get cheered. You're going to have that underdog story. Everyone loves an underdog story. I don't care who you are. And that's great. But they don't. Because Roman Reigns has muscles. Ambrose comes out, though. He does talk about, you know, being so close to being the World Heavyweight Champion at Roadblock. And if you haven't already, please make sure you get out of your way to check out the Roadblock pay-per-view review I did. Lesnar, then music hits. Lesnar and Heyman come out. Heyman cuts his normal amazing promo claiming Heyman is Ambrose's protection because he claims if Lesnar beats on him tonight, there will be no match at WrestleMania. Ambrose then keeps on provoking Brock Lesnar. Heyman promotes the network, promotes the Mania match, and then walks to the back, but Lesnar pretends to walk with him. Then he starts running to the ring, teasing that he's going to go to the ring. Ambrose then gets out a crowbar. Lesnar literally jumps up on the apron and jumps back down as Ambrose goes to hit him with the crowbar. Lesnar then walks off. Again, I love this because it's teasing. It's making you want to see them fight. That's great booking. To me, that's great, magnificent booking. And I was a huge, huge fan of this. I really, really was. And it's making me want to see them. And that's the point of Monday Night Raw, is to make you want to see the babyface wrestle. Name and shame game. This one's a shame. At the Heyman legacy. Go block this person. And I quote, "That was horrible. I wanted to see them brawl. Please make me excited for WrestleMania. That didn't give me hype for shit." Right, what's wrong with that statement? Firstly, they still have 2 more weeks of television heading towards WrestleMania where they can brawl if they really want to. And the point of this was to make you, the fan, want to see them brawl. And they did that. You claim there, "I wanted to see them brawl." That was one of your quotes, which was the writer's job. And that's making you want to see them brawl so that you pay for WrestleMania. So you, my friend, are an imbecile. And going to Block Island in the process. Cracking job. Then we had Ryback versus Sin Cara. Speaking of horrendous, Sin Cara's new black gear looks absolutely rank. I'm not a fan of his gear. And speaking of not being a fan, I'm not the biggest Ryback fan on the planet. Everyone knows that, and I don't think anyone is really a big fan of Ryback. But he's improved in the ring greatly. Honestly, shout out there. Really good job. Sin Cara, though, in the match, towards the end, goes for a slingshot maneuver, but Ryback hits the shell shock. Ryback hits a second shell shock, this time looking at Kalisto to get the win. Average, mediocre, dull, boring, uneventful. Please never make me watch that again. Next. We have Stephanie McMahon coming out. She brings out Triple H because Triple H can't bring himself out. I love Triple H's entrance. Like, the way he carries himself, the way he looks in the suit, the way he carries the belt. He looks like a wrestling world champion. Triple H talks about his victory at Roadblock on Saturday on the network. He then cuts a fucking awesome promo on how everyone's a loser, you know, gets good heel heat for it. Then he promotes the Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania and say he will fail just like the fans. This is Dolph Ziggler interrupts him to everyone's fucking chagrin and excitement. Some people Dolph Ziggler's like Marmite. You either love the guy or hate the guy, and I'm on the love the guy machine. Ziggler again looking slick in the suit, just need to change his shoes up. Ziggler cuts a promo saying nothing left to lose and he will not quit. Ziggler also says him and Ambrose are not failures, they're just screwed by the system, and you are the system. That made me pop, that really did. Triple H then, he didn't say it specifically, but he gave the intentions. You know, he's basically offering a spot in the Authority. Ziggler then calls Steph an idiot, and then Steph cuts a promo announcing Triple H versus Dolph Ziggler tonight on Raw. 3 great promos. Cutting 3 great promos, and that's always a recipe for greatness. Also, main event also announced, even though it's not the main event, it's at the top of the second hour, between Triple H versus Dolph Ziggler, and if Dolph Ziggler wins, he gets Mania match of his choice, except Triple H's World Heavyweight Championship being on the line. That was very interesting again. So there's kind of a hook there to make you want to watch WrestleMania. Not watch WrestleMania, sorry, there's a hook there to make you stay for Raw because you want to see Triple H wrestle for the first time in 3 years on Monday Night Raw. Not only that, they want you to see if, you know, will Dolph Ziggler beat Triple H? You know, who will he pick? Again, there's the hook that's going to make you come back, or at least want you to come back. Then up next we have Sami Zayn versus The Miz. Kevin Owens, the IC champs on commentary, because obviously they're going with the Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, or maybe they're going to go with a multi-man ladder match like they did last year at WrestleMania 31. Miz is the standard, for WWE, and he's, that's being generous, or being nice, so to speak, because, Miz, AJ came in this year, he was the first guy who had the first few matches with him. Sami Zayn comes in, he's the guy who has the first few matches, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a big fan of I'm not a big fan, I wouldn't go that far, but I am a fan of The Miz. I like what he brings to the table. I think he's good. He's a good asset to the company. He obviously has some shitty movies that some people enjoy. I, for one, am not one of the people who enjoy it, but that's just me. I don't have particularly the best taste in movies, because I'm a TV show guy. I'm not a movie guy. I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched it. The last movie I think I watched was Jurassic World. Like, literally, I think that's it. I can't be dealing with movies. Zayn, though, hit a moonsault off the barricade to the floor. He also hit a running flip to the floor. Owens then goes to interfere, but Miz attacks Owens. Zayn then hits a haluva kick to get the win. And I wouldn't mind seeing Zayn versus The Miz rematch with more time given to it. I thoroughly enjoyed this. On SmackDown last week, and again, please check out my last week's SmackDown review if you haven't. There was a tag team match with Zayn and Neville versus Miz and Owens, and I wouldn't mind seeing that in a 4-way for the IC strap. I think Miz deserves it. He's been, this time 5 years ago, he was a main event in WrestleMania. Now he's doing nothing, and he's just putting people over. Miz is so underrated in the ring. He's improved so much. This time 10 years ago, the guy was, that guy was bad. The guy, he wasn't even allowed to get changed in the wrestler's locker room because he was that bad. And when you're that bad, you're bad. And name and shame, at the real Virgil. Okay, so this is Virgil, the W guy. League of Nations need a little Africa in them. I'm ready for it. #Raw. What an imbecile. Like WWE gonna hire you with all the shit you put on there. Come on, mate. Renee Young then interviews League of Nations. The League of Nations cut a pretty standard basic promo and then challenge New Day for a match at WrestleMania. They don't claim what type of match. Is it going to be 4-on-3? Is it going to be 3-on-3? Is it going to be 2-on-2? Is it for the tag titles? Very vague. I guess obviously maybe that was the purpose of it, to try and get your attention. Okay, how are they going to do it? If that's what they went for, good for them. But I'm not excited for that. I'm happy that those 4 guys are going to get, and 7 really, if you include the New Day, are going to get a WrestleMania match or maybe a moment. I'm happy they're not in that fucking Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But in the end of the day, I have zero interest in that at all. We then have Brie Bella and Alicia Fox versus Naomi Tamina Snuka. At Mark Anderson NWO put P mode #Raw at LK Wrestling. You can follow him on Twitter at LK Wrestling, and he tweeted that at me so he can be in the name part, promote him at Mark Anderson NWO. He puts P mode #Raw. That made me laugh. Brie needs bigger trunks, you fucking whore. Lana interferes, costing her the match. Lana versus Brie Bella. This is going to be it's going to be in the WrestleMania pre-show, okay? And this is what's going to happen. And tonight, here we go. This is why And tonight, on WrestleMania 32, we have Lana going up against Brie Bella in a match brought to you by Velvet Toilet Roll. 12 packs. Use them in the toilet for whatever purpose. Piss, shit, jerk it off, I don't care. This match, again, brought to you by Velvet Toilet Roll, the manufacturers of the best toilet roll in the business. So there you go. So look, I'm even bringing you advertisements here on the show. I'm bringing in WWE income. Please do not ever make me sit through that, or I swear to God, dude, I hate Brie Bella. She's a whore. I'm announcing it. Put it as breaking news on one of your hack sites if you want. She's a whore. The trunks she wore made me feel uncomfortable to watch. Honestly, I'm sat there with a girlfriend thinking, dude, if she walked in right then, I would have been like, oh my God, Jesus H Christ on a popsicle stick. We then had Renee Young interview Charlotte. Charlotte talks bad about Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks and said she is better, and the Divas Championship proves it. And then they promote the face-to-face as they call it on SmackDown. That's cool. Then we have the Usos versus Social Outcasts. The Social Outcasts were Bo Dallas and Adam Rose. The Dudleys are ringside for some reason. I think they got a rivalry going on with the Usos, but I have zero interest. No time for the Usos. If you've seen one Uso match, you've seen every Uso match. They went with a splash off the top, and my God, did they hit about 18 super kicks. That was the only piece of offense they had. Awful. Squash sucked fucking dick. Next. Ugh, just so bad. I have That was poor. That was awful. As a guy who loves Axel more than a straight man should, I have no time for that at all. That was really bad. Oh, dude, if only you knew. Like, if you watch this show, you know how boring that was. It did nothing for anyone. Honestly, bad. We then had a backstage segment with Ambrose and Mick Foley. Foley wants to know why he wants to fight Lesnar. Lesnar says it's like because he's basically that. Ambrose asks Foley, why did you jump off the top of the cell? Well, I get pushed off the top of the cell. He goes, because I'm Mick Foley, and that's what I do. And then and then Ambrose goes, well, I'm Dean Ambrose, and that's what I do. And then Foley gives him a present. He calls it the passing of the torch. Ambrose opens it up, and it's a barbed wire baseball bat. I mean, two great promos again, cutting great promos. I was a big fan of that. Probably one of definitely the backstage segment of the night, and just give it a watch, even if you're just going to watch on WWE's YouTube gimmick. Then you have the top of the second hour, Triple H, your WWE World Heavyweight Champion, versus Dolph Ziggler in a match where if Dolph Ziggler wins, he gets a match at WrestleMania. This should have been main event. We definitely should have got this main event, and then in the top of the second hour, we should have got the Taker segment. That's just my opinion. And they did a really poor job of promoting this, by the way, like a really poor job. I think they gave it one video screen. For a Triple H match, that's unbelievable and utter bullshit, and you should be ashamed of yourself, honestly. They present, they don't promote, and I've said that 16 million times. The match starts off with the nice technical work. Ziggler keeps going for roll-ups. Again, good storytelling, because he realised what a huge opportunity this is and what a huge obstacle he's trying to get that upset win, continuing the story of he's the underdog. That's a really good job. Triple H working the left arm of Dolph Ziggler. He's selling really well. Ziggler on the comeback hits a clothesline, still selling the arm because he's Dolph fucking Ziggler. Ziggler again keep on going for roll-ups for 2. Crowd into the near falls big time, by the way. Ziggler hits a spike DDT for 2. The super kick for 2. That was an incredible near fall. Triple H knocks Ziggler off the apron into the barricade. Ziggler selling the left arm still. Back inside the ring, Triple H finally hits a pedigree after several attempts to get the win. Triple H made Ziggler look like a fucking $1,000,000. He did. He sold for him greatly. He let Ziggler get his shit in. It was a really good match. Really enjoyed it. Match of the night for damn sure. Then Roman Reigns music hits. Reigns and Triple H brawl. Crowd boo. The main event of Mania getting booed. They then brawl to the back. Triple H is pissing blood from the side of his head. Usos, Swagger, and Henry then separate. You know, the segment was good. It was well written. I enjoyed the execution. It's just the wrong person in Reigns. If that was Ambrose, the crowd would have exploded. And it's so difficult to when you're watching segments like this with Triple H and Dean Ambrose. You're watching it and you're basically praying, you know, let's see this, okay? I want to be entertained. Sports entertain me. And, you know, I want to get emotionally attached to the main event of WrestleMania, but I can't when the crowd are booing the babyface. Who am I meant to root for? I'm not rooting for Reigns because everyone's booing him. Triple H is the biggest heel in the company and your world champion. I'm booing for him. So what am I going to do? I'm going to boo the writers. I'm going to boo Vince. I'm going to boo the company for putting on such a stupid storyline. And it's not as if exactly they didn't get given warnings, because they knew this was going to happen. They tried so hard, and I thought what they were going to do is have Reigns cost Triple H the match to get the pop for Ziggler, to try to get that pop also for Roman Reigns, but the crowd are booing the shit out of him, and it's really bad. And like I said earlier on in the show, I really think they should have roles reversed. Had Reigns go for Lesnar as the heel, because Lesnar's going to be over as a babyface. Reigns can then use that to get more heel heat, be a big heel, and have a heel run, and have Ambrose as the guy. Everyone loves the underdog story. I don't care who you are, you love that underdog story, so you can have Dean Ambrose versus Triple H for the strap in the main event, and be that big underdog story. I really do think they should have gone that route. I think they dropped the ball. And it's a damn shame, and they're going to be punished with it, because the crowd at WrestleMania are going to boo them to pieces. They're going to get torn apart, and it's going to be embarrassing. And, you know, when non-wrestling fans are watching it, and, you know, they're just casual viewers, and they see that, and they just see the crowd just booing and shitting on the product for the main event at the biggest show of the year, it's kind of embarrassing. And I'm going to be honest, I can imagine sitting there and everyone going, why are they booing him? Oh, because basically the company's so shit they don't have a right wrestling show anymore. Oh, like, come on. And then we had Chris Jericho versus Neville. Jericho, he's such a great heel. Literally comes out, he cuts a heel promo on how he's pissed off that the WWE Universe picked AJ over him. And then Jericho, like his little mannerisms, like he pushes the camera out of his face and things like that. We come back from a commercial break, and Neville's on his knees, literally setting his leg, holding his leg, and then you can hear Jericho really loudly like asking, Neville, are you hurt? Are you hurt? And then the ref checks on him. Y2J rolls him up. 1-2. Neville kind of kicks out, and then Y2J gets up, screams at referee Charles Robinson, "He's injured, you fucking asshole!" That's literally, he's getting right in his face. He goes like, "Ring the fucking bell!" He's literally, that wasn't me just swearing because I swear because I'm a passionate person. That was literally Jericho's word. He goes, he's injured, you fucking asshole, and it's really loud and clear. The bell rings. And I'm there like, okay, and I saw some clips on the Twitter machine, and his leg in his ankle snapped all the way back, pretty much, and it was absolutely revolting to watch. And so, I hope it's not serious, and if it is, you're going to add Neville to the injured list as well, which is a huge blow, because, I mean, he's just starting to build some momentum. He's involved in that Sami Zayn, Neville, Miz storyline, and Kevin Owens, so, he would have been potentially in a WrestleMania match, and another huge blow, because he's one talented son of a bitch. And it's a damn shame for Neville to be injured. And it was a real scary thing because, Jericho got really hot at Charles Robinson for not ringing the bell. And I mean hot, I thought he was going to smack him. Like, generally really hot. And obviously, like, just wish nothing but, obviously, his health and well-being being his main priority right now. And hopefully he gets a speedy recovery if he is injured. AJ Styles then comes out. He hits a springboard forearm, which Michael Cole dubs the phenomenal forearm, which nearly made me gag. Really bad stuff. I hope Neville's okay. Like, honestly, if you watch it on the Twitter machine, I don't know how you can find it, but if you watch it on the Twitter machine, it really is revolting. It's disgusting to watch, and it made me feel uncomfortable, and it was really bad. And then in the main event of the night, because we don't have wrestling to close off a wrestling show, because this is sports entertainment, and that's what WWE is. You had Vince McMahon come out. There's a Vince's booty sign. Get whoever you are, give yourself a Barry Horowitz from Coco. Vince says after Mania, he will be gloating as Shane will fail. Vince brings out Taker. Taker comes out, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, every single person on this planet, I don't care if you're a wrestling fan or not, you need to see Taker's entrance live. It's a spectacle, it's special, it's out of this world. Loudest chant of the night by far is Undertaker chant. Vince tells Taker to never put his hands on him again, because obviously he put his hands on his throat last week. Vince puts over Taker plus Vince alliance. Shane comes out. Shane then seems, I'm going to be honest, Shane seems like a great guy. Like, anytime Shane's down in England and he wants a pint, I'm down. He can pay. He's a fucking millionaire. He can pay. Shane tells Vince he isn't best for business anymore. Agreed. Shane cuts a promo saying unless his heart stops, he won't stop. Taker then cuts a very short promo. It still won't be enough. Shane then calls Taker a puppet with Vince pulling his strings and calls him Vince's bitch. Taker then goes to chokeslam Shane as he's really pissed off, but Shane moves and punches Taker in the corner. Vince then pushes Shane into a chokeslam. Taker goes for Vince. Vince runs away, and that closes the show with Taker standing in the ring over Shane's limp body. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought that was an enjoyable segment because, you had some physical altercation there, and it made Shane look really strong. But what they didn't do is they still protected Taker. Like, when they started brawling, I'm like, oh my god, they're going to make Shane look so like a Superman and Taker look like an imbecile. But they protected Taker. Taker obviously came out looking like the man, but they made Shane look like, wait a minute, what? Shane could pull this off. Like, he put it to Taker. If it wasn't for Vince, pushing Shane, what would have happened? That was really good, and he put some heel heat on Vince. Honestly, I thought that was great. I thought that was great. It made me want to watch Shane versus Taker. But apart from that, I mean, this show was skippable. I mean, I enjoyed the Ambrose Lesnar segment because Heyman cut a really fucking good promo as per usual. The Neville match made me feel uncomfortable, and I really do hope he's okay. Generally, I'm not just saying that. It scared me. Ryback's match was boring. I'm not looking forward to Ryback Kalisto. I'm not looking forward to Lana versus Brie. I'm not looking forward to the tag team title match. There's so much I'm not looking forward to WrestleMania, but I just pray they pull a rabbit out of the hat like I know they can do. And again, I apologise that this isn't the longest Raw review, but please put your comments in the comment section below. Was the show a win? Was the show a loss? Was the show a tie? And put any questions in. And because basically what happened is I started recording a Raw review, and then the internet cut. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I'm recording this right now off Audacity, and then I'm going to put it on a picture and then upload it. So it's going to be a son of a bitch. Second time of recording, damn depressing. But again, I hope you enjoyed this short review. I apologise if it's not as long as usual. And I apologise again that Mr. KocoSports sadly is not on the show, and he'll be looking to be back sometime later this week, maybe even earlier in this week. Just depends on how his family's doing. And obviously I hope everyone's okay over in the KocoSports family's house and all this and that. Head over to KocoSports.net, that's KocoSports.net, it's where the world goes to chaos, sharing combat sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Head over to ProWrestling.me, sign up, that's 100% completely free. Make sure to head over to LKVIP, where I do VIP shows every single day when I can. 99 pence, 99 cents, however the fucking currency you are, wherever you are in the world, sign up. First 14 days completely free. Don't enjoy the content, unsubscribe. That being said, like, comment, subscribe. What a clusterfuck, nearly stuttering over my own words. Like, comment, subscribe, ProWrestling.me, KocoSports.net, LKVIP. Sorry about this not being the longest Raw review. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Stay safe, stay well. This has been your boy LK, and I'll catch your asses down the line.